Trump just pushed through 10 massive changes to the CFPB. And whether you love him or can't stand him, these changes are about to hit you where it hurts. From your credit cards to your bank account, from your ability to dispute errors on your credit report, or how debt collectors contact you. Everything is about to change. But there is something you haven't heard yet. One of these changes could quietly eliminate your right to fix your credit report. And if you miss this short window to act, you might be stuck with errors, debts, and damages you don't even owe. Hold on, let's back up for a second. So what is the CFPB? Now, the CFPB is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, was created after the 2008 financial crisis to protect everyday people like yourself from Experian, from Treasury, from Equifax, and junk fees and abusive debt collectors. They've helped millions of people fix their credit report errors, stop harassment, and get back on their feet financially. But under Trump's influence, that protection is being systematically dismantled. So what does that mean for you? Let's break it down one change at a time. But stick around, because number 7 is the one that can quietly destroy your right to fix your credit. So the first big change that happened was, remember the late fee cap rule? Now it's been overturned. See, what was happening was the CFPB capped late fees on credit cards at just $8 to stop banks from charging excessive penalties that keep low-income consumers in debt. So what does this mean for you? The cap is gone. We're going to be back to $30 to $41 in late fees per card. So if you're just late by even one day because life happens, and it happens to everyone, your $50 minimum payment now becomes an $80 plus hit to your budget, plus credit score damages. And this is just the first of several changes that shift the financial burden back on you. Now, the second major change that is happening is, remember, medical debt is probably going to be put back on your reports. Yep. See, what was happening was medical bills were often being stripped from credit reports, even if unpaid, because they're often confusing, inaccurate, or in dispute. But now things change under Trump. The CFPB reversed that protection. Now, even incorrect or unpaid medical bills can damage your credit, even if you're on a payment plan or waiting on insurance. It's crazy out here. Trust me. So that $200 ER visit you never approved, if it ends up on your credit report, it can tank your credit score, and there's less you can do about it now. Now, the third major change that is happening is, remember that overdraft fee protection that came out? Now is being overturned. Yep. See, what was happening was the CFPB wanted to limit overdraft fees to $5 max, since most overdrafts are just a timing error, not major spending issues. So what this means now is that banks are back to charging $35 plus per overdraft fee with no legal cap. Yep, you heard me. Crazy. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, just one slip up can start a chain of fees that buries you in a lot of debt. Now, the fourth major change that is happening is buy now, pay later oversight is being removed. Man, things about to get out of hand. So what was happening is the CFPB wanted a firm and other people to play by credit card rules, fair disclosure, clear terms, and accurate reporting. But now, buy now, pay later companies don't have to report missed payments, disclose any fees, or treat consumers fairly. Crazy, huh? Think about this. You can take out 5 small buy now, pay later loans, right? And just miss just one payment by accident. And you already know your credit score is going to drop, and they're going to give you 0 warning. Now, the fifth major change that is happening is debt collector enforcement is now being rolled back. See, what was happening is the CFPB was actively punishing collectors for abusive calls, illegal threats, and fake debt. But now those investigations are being paused or even dropped. Abusive collectors are now back in business. And if you ever had a collector harass you for debt you didn't owe, this will hit home really fast. Now, the sixth major change is those lender lawsuits are now being dropped one by one. See, what was happening is that the CFPB had lawsuits open against Capital One, Wells Fargo, and others for junk fees and false reporting. But now those lawsuits gone. Consumers who were promised relief now are getting nothing. So even if a bank lied or broke the law, you may be stuck with damaged credit and no legal fix. The seventh major change that is happening is credit dispute protection is now being cut. See, this is the one I need y'all to pay very close attention to. See, what was happening is the CFPB supervised how Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion handle disputes, forcing them to investigate properly and remove unverifiable information. But now that supervision is almost gone. The credit bureaus are now policing themselves. And you already know what that means. More disputes are being ignored, and that's why they keep on getting sued. So if there's a mistake on your credit report and you try to fix it the normal way, you might just get ignored. But don't worry, I got you. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a second before it completely gets out of hand. So here's number 8 and number 9. They go with each other, right? Number 8 deals with banking, and number 9 is going to be dealing with the fair lending protection is now being cut. What was happening is that the CFPB used adverse impact to hold lenders accountable for discrimination, even if it wasn't intentional. But now the tool is gone. Lenders can now deny credit for reasons that might look neutral. We already know what time it is. If you know, you know. And unless you can prove it with data, there's no clear path to justice. Now, the 10th major change that is happening is the consumer complaint system is now being silenced, right? See, what was happening is the CFPB allowed public complaints to pressure banks, collection agencies, and the credit bureaus to resolve issues, remember? But now the tool is being limited. Public complaints may not be published. Resolutions may never come. If you file a complaint with the CFPB about a debt collector or false information on your credit report, there might be no pressure to fix it and no resolution, right? Yep, CFPB, as we know it, has been downsized. And since it's been downsized, as you can see, complaints are not being resolved. Yes, people are still getting results, but it's being limited. So just continue complaining and continue leveraging the laws to knock the credit bureaus out. So let's talk for a second. None of these changes happened by accident, right? They happened quietly under the radar while most people were busy trying to survive. But now you know, and in the next 90 days is going to be crucial. So if your credit score is low, I want to show you some ways to improve your credit score, extra 50 points, 100 points, all depending on what you got going on. So first things first, what you want to do, of course, is get access. Now, yes, you can use annualcreditreport.com, but you want to use a tri-merge credit report, and it's going to lay out all the inaccuracies, all the details with every specific account that's holding your credit score back. And I can get you a $1 trial for the next 7 days so you can see all that. The link's going to be in the description. So I got you, right? So you're going to see a layout of all your negative accounts, and you're going to see the inconsistent information on your report, right? Now, one of the things you can leverage is the law. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just here to show you you're right. You can leverage the law, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? And those laws are in place to help you. A specific law you can leverage is 15 USC 1681 EB, right? That one says, hey, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax have to ensure that, hey, these accounts are assuring maximum possible accuracy, right? Basically, I'm just paraphrasing what it means. You can look up the law yourself. But now what you want to do is leverage what I call is artificial intelligence to help you dispute these negative accounts, right? Because you're not trying to learn every specific law, every little thing about credit repair, right? So what you can do is leverage artificial intelligence to help you. So there are places like ChatGPT, there are Grok, there is Gemini, and there are other platforms that are out there that you can leverage to create dispute letters and different things to help you increase your credit score. Now, you can upload your full report and then ask it to, hey, give me a 90-day game plan to help me increase my credit score. But you know, I got you, right? So you can create letters based off the negative accounts on your report by using that specific law that I talked about, right? And then the next thing you want to do in the meantime is add backdated history accounts to your report. All right. Now, one of the things you can do is use utility reporting with Identity IQ, right? You can add the last 24 months because everybody pays utility bills most of the time, right? You can add the last 24 months of on-time payments added to your report, right? So you have 24 months of on-time payments being added to your report. Not only are you getting backdated history, it's going to affect your age, it's going to affect the credit mix, it's going to affect the other factors of your credit score, right? That's just utility reporting. You're already paying utility bills, might as well get it reported. Now, the next major thing that you can do right now is if you're currently renting, you can use BoomPay, right? And you can do the last 24 months. So 24 months, that's 48 months of payment history being added to your report, right? Plus age, plus other factors of your credit score. That's where you're going to see different jumps in your credit score. And of course, you're taking care of your credit card debt, right? That's going to take time, because if you racked it up, it's going to take time for you to pay it down. And as you're paying down your credit card debt, you're going to see your credit score increase. But most importantly, you adding these different accounts to your report is going to also help. And then as you're disputing using the Fair Credit Reporting Act with artificial intelligence to help you dispute, you make sure when you send your letters, you send it certified, and tell ChatGPT or whoever you use add a way to notarize your letter. So you want to take it to UPS and get it notarized. I think the bank and other places, there are free places. You can probably Google some free places out there to help you, right? But you want to get your letters notarized because, like I said before, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax are ignoring people. So that's the reason why you want to get it certified, get it notarized, and add 2 to 3 forms of identification with your letter. All right, this is very important. And once you add some backdated primary accounts to your credit report and pay down your debt, you're gonna see your credit score take off. All right, hold up, I want to show you a backdoor way to get access to a $20,000 or up to a $20,000 credit card, even if you have bad credit. If you don't believe me, hey, click right here and watch. Right, I'm going to break it down to you step by step by step.